OTAs really don't mean all that much for the players. As you may know, Teron Armstead and Tyreek Hill aren't even at the OTAs for the Miami Dolphins. What's really important is that we get to the actual on-field activity, because nothing seems to matter in regards to Tua Tagovailoa other than actually playing a game. I'm going to show you why PFF may not be in favor with a lot of Miami Dolphins YouTubers much longer. Very often, Dolphins YouTubers cite PFF stats as the reason why X player or Y player or Z player is to be ranked so high. That's why I never use stats, because I never want a stat to come back and bite me in the ass. Well, guess what? I'm going to give you maybe 8 reasons why you shouldn't listen to PFF stats anymore. Yesterday, PFF posted their top quarterback rankings for 2023, and they ranked all 32 quarterbacks. I'm not going to go through 32 quarterbacks. I'm just going to go through the top 10. And when you hear these rankings, it's likely that you won't hear any YouTubers talking about PFF anymore, and you won't pay any attention to PFF anymore. So let's jump into it. So right now I'm on PFF's website, and the featured story is their quarterback rankings for all 32 projected starters for 2023. Obviously, you can tell by the feature picture here that number 1 is going to be, of course, Patrick Mahomes. I don't think anybody right now can argue with that whatsoever. He is the benchmark. He is the standard for quarterbacks in the NFL. But let's continue. Josh Allen from the Buffalo Bills comes in at number 2. Strong quarterback, big guy, rifle for an arm. You can debate whether or not he should be number 2 or Joe Burrow should be number 2, but they've got Josh Allen at number 2. Number 3, they've got Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow from the Cincinnati Bengals. Again, there's not much you can argue with these top 3, but as you move forward, you're going to have some problems here. There's one you're going to have a problem with. Justin Herbert from the Los Angeles Chargers. Justin Herbert, the pretty boy, the social media quarterback, is ranked number 4. Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, the new kid in town, the new kid in New York, at the New York Jets, 39 years old, former MVP, Super Bowl champion, is coming in at number 5. Number 6, Lamar Jackson, who held out. Whether he was hurt last year or not, we'll never know, but he's coming in projected to be the number 6 starter by PFF. Notice somebody's still not being talked about, and you're going to get to that. Number 7, Super Bowl quarterback, Jalen Hurts from the Philadelphia Eagles. Had a monstrous season, performed extremely well, got to the Super Bowl, got beat by the Chiefs, but he got there. Now we start seeing the fun stuff. Number 8, Trevor Lawrence from the Jacksonville Jaguars. T-Law is making heads turn. He won a playoff game last year, and I think, 2 years removed from Urban Meyer, they're expecting a breakout season from Trevor Lawrence. Number 9. I know this makes heads go poof, poof. Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is the number 9 rated quarterback by PFF going into the 2023 season. Kirk Cousins. And rounding out the top 10 is Dak Prescott from the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott at number 10 is projected to be in the top 10 of starting quarterbacks in the NFL, above a bunch of other people. Someone you may be thinking would have been in the top 10, but he's not. Dak Prescott comes in at number 10. So to recap, number 10, Dak Prescott. Number 9, Kirk Cousins. Number 8, Trevor Lawrence. Number 7, Jalen Hurts. Number 6, Lamar Jackson. Number 5, Aaron Rodgers. Number 4, Justin Herbert. Number 3 is going to be Joey Burrow. Number 2, Josh Allen. And number 1, Patrick Mahomes. Is there somebody missing? I'm sure you noticed somebody's not in the top 10. And we're seeing this theme over and over and over. And the only reason I brought it up today is because so many people have spewed PFF stats as the gold standard for validating their position on a player. I see them quoted in video after video after video. But for some reason, I think now things may change. I don't think we're going to see PFF relied upon so much moving forward after this chart that they just put up. So I know that you're waiting. I know you're wondering, where does Tua Tagovailoa fall? If he's not in the top 10 of projected starters in the NFL in 2023, when everybody's out there saying he had a ball-out year last year until he got hurt, he was an MVP candidate. He led the league in passing. Stats. But now putting money on it. Vegas, PFF, everybody, I mean, literally everybody has been discounting Tua Tagovailoa. You know, last year in the offseason, people said this year they said I flip-flopped because last year, I was really supporting Tua Tagovailoa. And then with what happened in November and December, people say I flipped because I started talking negatively about him. And it wasn't because I flipped, it's because I saw some things happening. I can't be the only one seeing it. Across the board, we're all here, if healthy. But the rankings that have been coming out over and over don't list Tua as one of the top quarterbacks in the league. What do they know that we don't know? What do they know that you don't look at? There's something missing, and I think people need to start digging deeper. It's not hater. Nobody's being a hater. There's something that people aren't focusing on because they're basically discounting Tua. You call it disrespect? I don't know what it is, but it's really weird how Kirk Cousins and Dak Prescott are shown to be better ranked than Tua Tagovailoa. So without further ado, let me go ahead and show you where Tua Tagovailoa falls. Tua is number 11 in their rankings for 2023, just above Matt Stafford. Can Tua back up what we saw in 2022, or was his play beginning to be found out anyway, when concussions became the overriding factor in his season? That's really important. Was his play beginning to be found out anyway? There's a prevailing theme in the league in terms of Tua's reads and how they could take away his reads, that the prevailing theme is beginning to say he may have been found out. Obviously, Mike McDaniel doesn't feel that way. They didn't go out and get anybody else. Maybe he's going to adjust the offense. In that clip I just showed you, I'll show it again. Notice in this clip right here, he's taking really quick drops and getting rid of the ball in under 2.5 seconds. Maybe that's a new wrinkle in the Miami offense, quick hitting passes to help protect Tua. But let's go on. That's the big question for him in Miami heading into 2023. Tua led the league with a massive 8.9 yards per attempt last season and also had one of the highest average depths of target, having been in the middle of the pack before that. He has elite potential within Mike McDaniel's offense, but he now needs to repeat it. Let's dig into that. So what everybody, not me, not just a few people, what everybody is saying is that Tua needs to prove it. He needs to prove that wasn't an anomaly, that he can do it again, and he can stay on the field. If he doesn't do both of those things, if he doesn't ball out, and if he doesn't stay on the field, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if they bring in Mike White, but it's obvious if people are beginning to wonder if defenses and defensive coordinators now understand what Tua is capable of. The average fan doesn't want to hear that. The average fan just can't understand or won't understand that defenses have spent months looking at film every single day, rewinding it, and these guys have probably done the same thing. I know there's some people out there who say Tua is a one-read quarterback. I don't know. I know that he's been short on some of his reads, and what I mean by that is he looks once, he looks twice, he can't find it, and then he tries to make something happen. They're taking away those initial reads, and he's not a playmaker. He's not designed to be a playmaker. He's designed to get the ball out. So what quarterback is going to show up this year? Is he going to show up like he did the first half of the season last year? Or is he going to show up as a quarterback who defenses had found out and have begun to be able to corral him and take some of his stuff away from him? Or is he going to continue to progress? Nobody seems to know. Nobody seems to understand what Tua is capable of now that there's film on him in Mike McDaniel's offense. So PFF, which is a source that lots of people rely on, has dropped Tua to number 11 in their preseason ranking of starting quarterbacks. I guarantee you, you're going to see people not use PFF as much in relying upon stats, because now they have dropped the bomb, especially on Miami Dolphins fans, by putting Tua at number 11 behind quarterbacks like Kirk Cousins and Dak Prescott. That's unreal. That's absolutely unreal. Even I, who people say I'm a hater, no, I don't think at all that Kirk Cousins and Dak Prescott should be rated above Tua Tagovailoa. But that's why the OTAs really don't mean anything. You're out there with no pads. Nobody's chasing you around. You're just out there just getting a feel of the new players. It's not going to matter until the pads come on and it's live. That's when we're going to see what happens. So I know we've got a couple months before we get into preseason camp, but keep a watch. Keep a watch in terms of what even our defense does against Tua in practice. He's going to be playing against a top-level defense, which is going to help him. If his progressions aren't being made against our defense, then it's likely they're going to have a problem with opposing defenses in the upcoming season. Let me know what you think. I'm not hating. I'm just showing you what they said. PFF made these rankings. I don't believe them. Like I said, I would put Tua at least number 7 or 8. I don't think Dak Prescott, and I don't think Kirk Cousins should be above Tua Tagovailoa. Let me know what you think about PFF's quarterback rankings for the 2023 NFL season. Talk to you soon. Fins up.
Is anybody catching on to this Barry guy?